Yes, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Feast. Thank you, everyone who's tuning in. I think you might have heard a bit of laughter before. I have got a panel with me, but I'll be introducing them a little bit later on. Let's get stuck in, shall we? It's St George's Day tomorrow, and it got me thinking, why has patriotism become such a dirty word? Everywhere you go abroad, you'll see the national flag flying high, whether it's France, Spain, America. Their national flag is always hoisted. But when England were in the semi-final of the World Cup, I can remember Theresa May saying she wasn't sure about whether or not she wanted to fly the St George's flag above 10 Downing Street. The kind of absolutely pathetic indecision you'd expect from an even more pathetic Prime Minister who claimed to love this country despite clearly never believing that we could succeed as an independent nation. England specifically, I find bizarre. People rarely hoist the St George's flag, and then when they do, all too often, people just assume they're massively racist. Yet go north of the border to Scotland and the saltire is everywhere. Wales, you can't move for dragons in Wales, but enough about some of the women. The flag is everywhere as well. But Britain as a whole, I think, struggles with this. I think many people feel shy about saying they're proud to be British. We've allowed the woke BBC brigade to hijack our national identity. We can't say anything good now about our great country without highlighting some historic injustice. We can't say Britain is great without also acknowledging that there are some historic events that we shouldn't be too proud of. Why? You don't apply that kind of logic to anything else. If my great-great-great-grandfather had an affair, do I have to apologise to my missus about that now? No, of course I don't. Just look at what's going on in Ukraine right now. We've got a country with nothing like the calibre of history that Britain is fighting for its national identity. Sorry, Ukrainians, but it's kind of true. Everywhere I look, at the moment, over here, I see a Ukrainian flag. There's one in my local park. People are driving around with Ukrainian bumper stickers. It's presumably just a matter of time before Zelensky's face appears on T-shirts like an Eastern European Che Guevara. And yet our flag is very rarely seen. In fact, the EU flag is more common, which is probably testament to how many beret-wearing Sadaks there are. But why did people prefer the EU? I don't think it was to do with open borders, which might as well still exist given what's going on in the Channel, or about the values that the EU stands for. I mean, those values are a complete sham. There's nothing kind, benevolent, loving and democratic about an unelected bunch of bureaucrats on the take from the public purse, stealing vaccines destined for vulnerable Brits, or being too obsessed with Russian gas to actually prevent massacres and systemic rape in Ukraine. No, I think they preferred the EU because they wanted to devolve the responsibility for the running of their country to someone else, either out of laziness or out of a lack of faith. A lack of faith in British capacity and capability. Well, I'm sure that will come as a great shock to the Bletchley Park codebreakers, Alan Turing in particular. In fact, when you think about it, we have a huge amount to be proud of. The war, the other war, the war after that, but not the war after that, to be fair. This tiny little island used to own most of the world. Much of the world speaks English. We punch well above our weight in sports. We've got the longest-serving living monarch. It's just a shame her grandson's a simpering ginger idiot, and one of her sons was mates with Epstein. We've produced some of the world's greatest ever comedians. In fact, two of them are joining me here tonight. We've produced some of the world's best music and James Blunt. On a sunny day, our countryside looks like a patchwork quilt of resplendent loveliness. We've got the great British boozer, real ale, roast, flipping dinners. We've got it all. The absolute lot of it. I love going on holiday and seeing the world, but I'm always very happy to come back to Britain. The best country in the world. And you know what? If you're not happy here, maybe the problem is you and not this country. And, well, you know where the nearest airport is.